Hey, welcome to FunNGun. Got a really cool piece of firearm-related tech for you today. But before we get into that, I want to say up front right here that absolutely none of the firearms in this video are going to be for sale. None of the links in this video, none of the codes in this video have anything to do with firearm sales whatsoever. This video is intended for educational purposes only. Therefore, any pricing mentioned in this video is for educational purposes because absolutely nothing here is for sale. Now we got that out of the way, I want to say a big thanks to Sealy Optics for bringing me on as an affiliate of their brand. If you're looking for a good red dot sight, it's not going to break the bank. You can go ahead and use the link in the description below there to open up the website. And then use code FunNGun to check out to get 10% off nearly everything on there. Also want to say a big thanks to is either XEGIS safes or Sealy pronounces it XEGIS safes. So I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce that, but I want to say a big thanks to them for sending me out this case for this particular video and also for giving you guys a discount code. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but I will go ahead and put it off in the corner of the video right there and also in the description next to the link that goes to the Amazon page. So if you want to pick one of these up for yourself, so check that out in the description if you're interested. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is show you what this particular case comes with. Then we'll go over some of its features. Then we'll get into my testing that I did on the actual palm scanner here. And then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit more after that. So let's go ahead and open it up here and we'll get into what you get in the box with this particular setup here. You're going to get an initial setup quick starter guide here. It's going to go over how to get the safe set up to where you have your own personalized combination there, and also how to get your palm registered into the scanner there. And then you got a booklet here going over the palm vein safety quick start and also frequent asked questions and kind of the manual to that. And it goes over a little bit more information on this and kind of the safety feature. We'll get more to that in a second. You're also going to get a regular owner's manual with this. It goes over some of the different features as well and kind of how to get it mounted and make sure nobody can walk off with it. You're going to get a set of nice keys here to go ahead and use the key on the front there. We'll get to that later in the video as well. And I like how they give you a really nice braided cable here with the 90, which makes it nice if you want to go ahead and plug that in. It's not going to be in the way when you go to reach into the box to grab whatever you got in it because it is kind of flat with the top there. So that's nicely done there. You're going to get a set of screws if you want to mount this to your bedside table or let's say a shelf in your closet or something. You can go ahead and do so. I will say you're probably going to need to go ahead and drill a pilot hole to get these screws started because they are a hex head and you do have the tool to put them in there, but it's going to be really hard to screw a screw in with that. So got a nice set of screws there to get it mounted to something. And if you don't feel like screwing into anything, you do have the option of using this kind of a bicycle cable style here that I do intend on using myself here. And you go ahead and stick this part through the loop here and wrap it around something. I feel like I'm going to go ahead and mount this to my bed frame. So that way when I mount this next to, or put this next to my bed, it won't be able to easily just be carried off. And the way that actually works is you do have a part right here you can thread off, stick it through, and then thread this back on the inside of the box where you can't just easily take off of the box. And that is something I really like about this. We'll get more into why that is later in the video, kind of my philosophy behind the box here. So now that we've went over everything it comes with, let's go over some of the features on the inside here that makes this a really nice setup. You do have wall-to-wall foam other than this side right here because it is plastic, so it's going to be soft against the gun anyways. So anything you put in here is not going to get beat up real easily. The fact that you can pull the foam out here and you can throw some cash under there, some paperwork, and have some little bit of extra storage there just to hide some more stuff is pretty nice. So overall, that is nicely done. You got these little flaps right here on both sides. It's going to go into these little slots, and it's going to make it harder for somebody to get under there and pry this open. And that also goes for these right here. It's going to make it harder for somebody to hammer in on it to get it to bend as well. So overall, nicely constructed there, and is all aluminum there. And as you've seen there, the door is spring loaded, so it just flips open as soon as you get it to rest your palm. So now that we got it open here, let's go ahead and show you what kind of space you're working with here. I'm going to bring a gun onto the table. I'm going to go ahead and show you that there is nothing in the chamber there. There is nothing in the magazine. And this is a full-size 2011 style gun. This is a Watchtower Demolition here. And it has a Surefire X300 on it and a Sealy Chameleon SRS8. So this is a full-size setup, and it also has the 20 or 22 round longer magazine in it. So that you can fit that in there with plenty of extra room to go ahead and throw an extra mag in there if you want to. So now that you've got an idea of kind of what you can fit inside the case here, I'm going to go ahead and pull everything out of the inside here, and we're going to go over some of the different features of the front side of the case here. We're going to start off with the number pad off to the side here. You can program this to a personalized combination. I'm going to go ahead and put mine in right here and show you that pops the box open just as fast as putting your hand over that, so works very well. And that kind of gives you the ability, if you got more people you want to have access to this, then you can have hands programming into this. that kind of gives you that access as well. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many hands you can have programmed to this, but I do have my right hand and my left hand programmed in it, so you do have at least 2 hands. So that means you and your significant other or somebody in your family, your roommate, anybody you want to have access to this other than just you can program their hand in there as well. So that is a really nice feature there. And then you got the little screen over here. This is something I really like about this. You do know how much battery you got left in this, so you're never going to have it go dead on you, and you could also just leave it plugged up. It also tells you the ambient temperature in the room and also the humidity level in the room, and it's in standby mode right now. And there's a few more things they'll highlight on the screen, like when you're programming your combination or programming your palm into this, it'll actually show you a few things there as well. So all kinds of good features on this, and we'll go over a few more things about this palm scanner once we get back from the testing part of the video. So let's go ahead and head off the testing now. Okay, what we're going to go ahead and do now is run a few tests on the palm scanner here to show you how it reacts in different scenarios. The first one is going to be complete darkness, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the light over my table off here. And as you can see, you can't even see the case on the table anymore. And I'm just going to go ahead and hold my hand over the sensor, and it's just going to go ahead and pop open because it does not care what the ambient light is around it. It's just going to work anyways, which is really cool. And it's going to be a little easier to find that scanner, in my opinion, in the dark than something you're going to have to put your finger on as well. And I will say, something that would be cool is a kind of a reference point. They could go ahead and put like a tritium dot right here on the top. So if you're jumping out of your bed and you look over, you kind of got a reference point where the sensors is. But either way, going to be easier to find, in my opinion, than a little square on the front to put your finger on. And the gun you're seeing here in the darkness is going to be my Black Friday deal of the year here. If you want to know what this gun is and you're not subscribed, go ahead and slap the subscribe button because I will be releasing a few videos on this particular gun later in the month. And if you want to go ahead and drop a guess to what it is in the comments, you can do that for fun as well. This is something I've wanted for quite a while. Pretty cool gun there. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do now is head out to the range and test this palm sensor a little bit more. So let's do that now. Okay, I figured a good test would be to show you how fast you can open up the box, grab the gun, and then put a round on target. Now, understand most of the time you're probably going to be doing this in the dark. You're going to be jumping out of your bed, so this is not exactly the same situation. But to add a little bit of complexity to this, I am going to start facing away from the box, so I do have to turn around, open the box, then grab the gun. So let's go ahead and see how fast we can get the gun out and put a round on target here. The first one was 425. I want to go ahead and do it 2 more times to kind of give you a good idea of this here. And I did forget to mention there is a 5-second delay on the timer, so I don't exactly know when it's going to go off. That was a 398 there, so got a little bit better that time. Let's go ahead and do it 1 more time here to kind of get an average here. And that was a 392. So you're looking at being able to jump up, put your hand over this box, grab the gun, and fire a round in around 4 seconds. So that is not bad at all. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is test dirty hands, wet hands, and just see what all we can do to try to trip this thing up, because it is supposed to work with pretty much anything on your hand. So let's go ahead and try that now. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and test if the box will open if you have stuff on your hands. If your hands are wet, hot, or sweaty, we're going to go ahead and see if it'll pop open. So as you can see here, my hand is nice and dirty. We're going to go ahead and see if the box pop open. And as you can see there, it doesn't care that my hand is dirty. The next thing we're going to do here to kind of as a simulation of a hot, sweaty hand, I do have warm water right here. So I'm going to go ahead and dip my hand in the warm water here. And let's see if the box will open. And as you can see there, the box does not care that my hand is wet or dirty. And that is something, if you have a fingerprint scanner, you're going to have to make sure your finger is nice and dry and or clean before you can scan it. So the palm scanner right there is pretty cool. So let's head back into the table. We'll take a little bit more of a close look at this, talk about a few more things, and we'll go ahead and close out the video then. Okay, as you can see here, this palm scanner works pretty darn well there in quite a few different scenarios, and also gives you quick access to your firearm, as you can see there as well. So there's a few other scenarios that this is going to work well for you in that I don't really have a good way to show you. Let's say you have wrinkly hands or calloused hands or just worn fingerprints and stuff in general. Let's say you work out a lot, you're a tradesman and your hands are wore down. It doesn't really matter because you're not relying on the thin fingerprints to go ahead and still be there for you to open up your box using your fingerprint. You can just go ahead and hold your hand over the box and it's going to go ahead and scan the veins in your hand and pop it open. So it's going to work in a variety of different situations, which I find that really cool about this. It's kind of like some black magic here, and it's also very satisfying to sit here and pop this open. And I feel like this is one heck of a conversation starter too, because you're going to show somebody, hey, check this out. You're going to be able to go there and pop it open and show it. And I'm sure you'll probably end up showing this to more people than you should, just because of how cool that actually is, in my opinion there. And who do I kind of feel like this is kind of geared towards? I feel like this is geared towards quite a few different people. Let's say you have a family, you got kids around the house, and you don't want them to having access to your firearm. This is going to deny them access to it very well. And the fact that you can have more than one palm loaded into the sensor here allows you to have your significant other be able to have access to it as well. So that's a really cool feature there, in my opinion, that you can have more than one person in there. And let's go ahead and say you're a store owner and you got another employee that works for you there that works a different shift or something. You can go ahead and load your hand into it and their hand into it, and they're going to both, or you're both going to have access to this if you need it in a situation, but someone's not going to be able to have easy access to it if they come behind the counter and whatnot. So I really like that about this as well. And you can mount this behind your counter easily. And you can also go in there and turn it on silent mode, and it's going to turn off all the beeping and stuff when it opens and whatnot, or scans your hand. That way it's less likely for the person to know that you are accessing a firearm to go ahead and fight back in a situation if you're in a store. So overall, I feel like you have quite a few different uses that you could use this box for. I'm sure pretty much anyone could find a reason that they need this particular setup. I feel like if you pick one of these up, you get it set up pretty well, learn how to do it and everything, you're going to really like this because it's really intuitive, very easy to use, and it gives you good, safe storage for your firearm. That's all I had for you today. Okay, if you made it this far, I just want to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're looking for more FunNGun right now, you can click one of the 2 recommended videos there. If you're looking for more FunNGun later, you can go ahead and click that there subscribe button. I sure would appreciate it. And if you're finding me from Facebook, go ahead and click that open app button at the top to make all that a lot easier, and I'll see you next time.